Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the things we did not get to during the course of the show today. Exactly.
What?
I know I say the same thing every time, but you know what? I'm a creature of habit. And there's certain things that I don't want to change up, and it explains what we're doing. So mock me all you want, Betty and Gavin. You can do it.
I didn't.
You can do it every day. I think it did. I heard
welcome
a
to the Aftercast.
Well, that's a little high for me if you're imitating me.
Was it like
No, I was just saying that would be my.
Oh yeah, and it got really like neck all of a sudden. Hi y'all!
I did not.
Welcome to the Aftercast. I love you. All right, so here we go. Let's jump right in here with stuff we didn't talk about. I was going to do this for a news story, and I was going back and forth. If you've already listened to the podcast, you've heard the news that we went with, but this one, I was thinking, like, it's so not fair how quickly weight goes on, but how hard it is to take it off. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with your exercise. Like, if you get into really good cardio shape and you take like a month off, all of a sudden you get winded walking from the couch to the fridge. It makes no sense. Like, why did you design it this way, Lord?
Right.
Like, it's not fair. It's not right.
If you worked that hard to get to that point, it should stick around a bit longer.
I feel really bad, too, for the people that are like on My 600-Pound Life, and they do all the work and they do it right and they lose all this weight and then they have all that excess skin and they have to get skin surgery, and if they can't get that, then they're just like folding stuff in. You're like, oh, that stinks, for you because you did the work. Well, most of us, if any of us have struggled with weight at any point in time, you've probably wished there was a magic pill to instantly remove that weight. Well, there might be something on the horizon that they're saying could honestly help. And I'm not sure how I feel about this. There's a drug company that has a type 2 diabetes drug that one of the byproducts of it is that people lose weight. And so what they started doing was they petitioned the FCC, hey, we want to do this as a weight loss drug. And the FCC has granted them approval to move forward with that. And so the drug is I can't even say it. They have the worst names for drugs, but like Mounjaro, Mounjaro or something like that.
That sounds good.
And thank you. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration said that as early as the end of the year, they could have it approved for weight loss. It's a shot that you give yourself.
Ooh,
so not a
that's
pill.
Serious.
I know. And so the red flags are, like for me, it went off. This is why I'm not sure about it. Like the red flags are, okay, you're using science to cheat biology. And initially, if it's granted weight loss surgery, the drug would still have to be prescribed by your doctor. And you have to qualify as obese. But then as I dug more into it, almost half of us qualify as obese, according to the study. Like half of America.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, that is bad. And so you're like, okay, so maybe your odds are 50-50 that you would qualify even if you had to get it prescribed.
Would you do it?
I don't think. No, my whole thing is I don't think Wally's obese at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think you're that much heavier than the weight for a 5'6" guy.
I'm saying if you were in that situation,
would I do it?
Would you do it?
I would.
If it was a pill, like what if it was a shot? Would you do the shot, Gavin, to give you a boost? Yeah.
Depends on where the shot's going.
I think you do it in your stomach. Like just like in your stomach, like they do for
That's
diabetes.
A little creepy.
Yeah, I would do a pill. I would try a pill for sure if I could lose this. Because my problem is my stomach. I know. So if I've got to do a shot,
you can't even swallow a pill.
I do.
What do you mean?
I swallow 3 pills every day. I have to.
I know.
To deal with you.
No.
But you're like,
sometimes they get stuck.
I survived.
I'm like, it's like pilling a cat. And so I think if it was a pill, I would try it. If it's a shot, I probably won't or wouldn't. But here's the other thing. This is the other thing. While the red flags went off, there were things that I'm like, okay, it's not that point yet where it's a huge problem because A, it has to be prescribed, and B, right now the diabetes part of it is covered by insurance, and it would be up to $1,400 a month if you didn't have insurance. And they're saying that it could go either way on the weight loss part of it, whether or not insurance would cover it. Like if your doctor prescribes it and prescribes you because you're in an unhealthy weight, then maybe it gets covered, maybe it doesn't. Yeah. And so until that price comes down for just the average person, you're not going to have people doing that except like people who are either desperate or are like
very wealthy.
Yeah.
But I wonder if doctors would prescribe it to someone who They just aren't eating right. They're not even trying.
Right.
Like they could lose the weight on their own. They're just not willing to do it.
That's like when you watch that show, My 600-Pound Life. Dr. Now is the big doctor on that show. And his whole thing is you have to put in the work to get to a certain point before we'll do the surgery, because we do the surgery and you keep eating, it doesn't matter. Like when they do gastric bypass, your stomach will re-expand. And so you can undo, in essence, or be miserable the rest of your life by overeating. And so if you don't make that change mentally, it's not going to take. So I don't know. I mean, if it was a pill, like this is the problem. I'm frustrated by my gut, but then I'm sitting here when you guys, El Diablo over there, the redheaded devil, today was like, let's do McDonald's. And I was happy with my water and a thing of small
You
donuts.
were not.
I was happy.
You were
Shouted
not
at us.
happy. You're over there and
Who
you
ate one of my donuts?
Yeah,
I thought
somebody
you
ate
guys
one of my
did.
donuts. Those disappeared a lot quicker than I thought.
I know. And then you guys like went and got like a large Coke, which I'm still nursing, and a McGriddle. And now I'm just in a guilt spiral. I it's gonna be a bad weekend.
Just try that wetsuit on again. It'll be fine.
Well, okay. So I tried my
update
wetsuit
that.
on last night. Okay, so I finally got the wetsuit. The company sent it to me for free, which is so great because it had been such a debacle. And so I put it on. And I get on it, it's a wetsuit on land is supposed to be tight, but it's like super not flattering when you have a gut and your gut just sticks out. You know, I get why women don't want to wear certain dresses now. It accentuates all your wrong parts, and so I had this gut and. As I was eating my McGriddle today, I literally had that thought. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You're in wetsuit season. You know, you gotta get this worked out. Yeah, but then I still ate the McGriddle and I ate it all. I didn't save a bite like I usually do to make myself feel better.
The I didn't diet.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the worst. But
I think you're beautiful just the way you are.
Thanks, Rock. I don't believe that for a second, but thank you. So where it's not a cheap, fast way to lose weight. And it's not a miracle pill. I think right now your best plan is to not cancel your Planet Fitness account. Like maybe keep doing that. But eventually they're going to crack the code, I think, because it's such an expensive industry or profitable industry that when they crack that code and you can miracle pill somebody to lose weight, like that person will be rich beyond their wildest dreams. You know, whenever they get that figured out. But then you're like, wow, we haven't solved cancer in all this time, and we've thrown a lot of money at that.
How is that possible?
I have no idea.
I don't think it is.
No idea whatsoever. Other thing that I saw, did either of you see the movie Till?
Oh, wasn't that the
It's the story of the of like in the 50s of this 14-year-old boy Emmett Till that was abducted and murdered. A black
No.
Oh, heavy.
Yeah.
And when you find out how, and when you realize it's a true story, it's crazy. So what happened in the movie and in the real life is this 14-year-old boy named Emmett was visiting his uncle and their family, and he was from, I think, Chicago, and he went down south, and his mama was like, look, it's a different world down there. Be small. Don't stand out, because he kind of had a big personality. And he came down there, and the accusation was that he was at this store and he whistled at this white lady and said things to her, provocatively or whatever. And you're like, really? And so she makes this accusation, and then. Oh, he was in Louisiana. And so then he is abducted by these Klansmen, and they brutally torture and murder this kid. And the big part of the story is the mom was so strong and brave, and she put his body on display with an open casket. They're like, you can't do that. And she's like, people have to see this. And it made it into the papers, and it became a nationwide thing. And so as you go through the story, sadly you find out that this kid he was murdered, and the guys that murdered him get released. They are found not guilty by an all-white jury. Shocker in Louisiana. But the lady who, I guess the whole reason I'm bringing this up is the lady who accused him of this just died. So she went on and lived this whole life, and she just now passed away from something that happened in 1955. And she got to live her life, and you're like, did you ever live with any guilt or whatever? Because then there was a book that came out and said that she had lied about this, and oh my gosh, you're evil.
Can't imagine.
Beyond evil. And then the story gets even worse, though. The guys that murdered this kid, okay, they get tried. They are found not guilty. They get released. You can't be tried for the same crime twice. That is our rules. For better or for worse, that's our rules. These guys go and they do like a magazine interview, an article, and they admit to killing him. And there's nothing anyone can do. You're like, how outraged would you be in the black community when that happens? How outraged should you be as a person when that happens, you know? And the fact that this happened so long ago, and we're like, oh, we're so far beyond that. But the fact that this lady just died from something that happened, what feels like forever ago, like she died at 88 years old, you know, and it is just a reminder that, like, yes, we aren't where we were then, thank the Lord, but we are not where we need to go, because I guess in 2018, they had reopened the case trying to prosecute her after it came up that she had lied, and they couldn't get enough evidence. And so she basically, like I said, lived her life free while this other family was devastated, and all off of, you know, race and hate of the time.
That's where you
crazy.
do, like, I can understand people who have a perspective that justice is not an easy thing to come by from a racial standard, just because, if we had hundreds of years of us being far away from that, maybe a couple hundreds of years from now, we'll be, looking at everything through like this plain, clear lens. But now we're just not that far away that we, like, for those people, like, my perspective is I wouldn't think that those people would still be alive, because my brain tells me it's so far away, but it's just not.
Oh, that was back then. But it was just a reminder that, no, it's still here. And the remnants of that are still alive. And hate is something that's really hard to kill. Hate is something that generationally, I think, has to die off, and it has to be eradicated in the youth. You know, and sadly what happens is you have racist people from the, 50s that had kids, and they kept instilling that in their kids, and then it gets fostered generation to generation. The only way you change that long term is by changing the hearts and minds of kids, so that as they grow up to be adults, they don't propagate that. And I know that there is this whole concept of wokeism that has gone to an incredibly ludicrous standpoint. Where it started was well intended and right. It was about racial injustice. That's where woke came from, and when it first started, and it quickly morphed and was capitalized on by people who had their own agenda for things that were far less serious than race, and it was one of those things that was a good idea, but then it got corrupted, and it
was a bandwagonable thing.
Oh, absolutely.
For a lot of people.
Absolutely. But yeah, so we are definitely not as far away from it as we think we are, and where we need to be racially, for sure. So what do you got, Lady Rock?
Thank you.
Well, we're not going to birthday, so.
Well, that's true, but you're going to me. John Krasinski, he is working on a new movie. It's called If, and it's about a young girl who starts seeing everyone's imaginary friends who've been left behind after their humans grew up.
I love the concept. I love high concept type cartoons. Like, I used to write cartoons, and I always had to come up with creative things, and when there's an idea that pops up that I'm so jealous that I did not think of, this is it. It's such a great, because you think everything's been told, and we had Inside Out, and that was such a good idea, or Toy Story, like, great idea. This is another rare but great idea if they execute it.
Yeah, hopefully they will. He does have a crazy voice cast. It includes Matt Damon, Jon Stewart, John Krasinski himself, and his wife, Emily Blunt.
She's great.
Maya Rudolph.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Vince Vaughn, Ryan Reynolds.
Nice. Wow.
Steve Carell.
Keeps going.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so,
this would be good.
I mean.
Do you know who's doing the movie? Like, did it say if it's like DreamWorks or something? Because it won't be Disney, I don't think. I bet it's going to be. I bet if it's an animated one, I bet it'll be like DreamWorks or something like that.
It might be. It didn't say.
Which DreamWorks is so hit or miss for me with content, like cartoon stuff.
I don't think they hit the same home runs that Disney do with their primary content.
No, and I'll tell you, man, Disney and Pixar, Disney Pictures more than Pixar has lost their way, and they're putting so much focus on inclusivity and gender stuff, and they are shooting themselves in the foot. This is the idea of wokeism going to the extreme and not being healthy. And Disney had doubled down on that, but they're paying the price for it. You know, there's this concept now that people say woke, go broke, and their movies are not doing well. And so now with Bob Iger back in, I'm hoping he reels that back in and goes, you know what? Let's just tell a good story. And let's leave sexuality out of this. How about we're going to tell a story to kids? What if we, crazy thought here, guys, I'm just spitballing, what if we don't have anybody having sex in this? How about that, huh? Where it's not an issue for anybody. We just tell a good story that is like a morality play for kids. How about we do that? If they get back to that, they'll crush it again because they're great storytellers, but they lost their way in agenda. Agenda driving story is never good. Christian movies blow most of the time because they have agenda driving the art. Instead of creating good art that has a perspective, they get it backwards, you know? And so it'll be interesting to see if this movie does really well. Like the Mario movie did well because it had none of that garbage in it, and it crushed. So good. And I hope that Disney takes a look at that and goes, hey, we need to make that kind of money again. What do? We stop being idiots. That's what we do. You're killing my stock, by the way.
Birthdays?
Yes! I know. Well, you know what? It's hard for you guys to understand, but people do come to the Aftercast for this. You know, I know you don't get it all the time. But
don't.
I know, but I don't get it either. Like, but people like it. So, all right. And I'm not just making it up. It's just my everyday thing. Like there was something today. There was what was it? We were talking about something that was really positive, and I am like, and I'm just like started to go down this negative rabbit hole. She's like, "How can you make this negative?" I'm like, "I'm just kidding," but there was still part of my head that like could have made it negative easily. So it's a gift. All right, birthdays. What do you got?
Let's see. Kristen wants to wish Ethan Dork Dog, her son, a happy birthday.
His mom's calling him that. That's awesome.
Ethan just celebrated his 21st birthday. He is the best son who is so much fun, creative, smart, hardworking, and most important, loves God and serves others well. He'll be celebrating on the 30th. Mom, Dad, a.k.a. Brittany and Ian, want to wish Liam, their son, a happy birthday. He's turning 10.
Nice.
He's full of life and is compassionate towards others. He's obsessed with the Wally Show and laughs at all of Wally's jokes.
See,
his favorite animal is a peregrine falcon. P-E-R. E-G-R-I-N-E.
Oh, peregrine.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
what is a peregrine?
Where is it?
Right here.
Perugian?
Oh. Peregrine.
Okay, nicely done, Gavin.
Probably watched that on like Animal Planet as like a 6-year-old and kept it in the bank.
There are things that, you'll remember that you don't know why you remember. It's why we do Mind Blown. Like you just became the most interesting person in this room.
Then we've got
like not really, but okay.
It's not really that impressive.
Melissa, she's celebrating her golden birthday. She has a question. She said, "If
I always forget the golden one,
is it 50?
Is it? What
it's
is it?
Like if you were born on the 19th, your 19th birthday is your golden birthday."
Got it. Okay, that's what I couldn't remember.
Her question is: if Jesus was going to create a social media account, which one would you think he would most and least likely use?
Oh, which social media platform? I don't think he would do Snapchat.
We have Snapchat, TikTok.
Snapchat's still a thing. That's crazy.
Yeah,
we did a story about Nordstrom
Facebook,
with
it. Instagram. Is that it?
I think that
MySpace.
I think he would be on the gram, like, because you got posts and you got reels and you can do like serious stuff there. And like TikTok for me is way more like funny stuff, but it does have some serious stuff in there. But I think he'd be on the gram.
What would he not do?
Oh, probably TikTok.
Yeah, probably TikTok. Definitely not Snapchat.
Yeah, I don't think Snapchat makes sense. I think he'd do the book. I think he'd go to Facebook because they have the ability to have like groups which I think is like a very valuable, like you build community there and still do all your posting and all that. I think you'd do Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Facebook still has the opportunity to make things very personable.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So I think I could see him doing Facebook more than anything.
I think, and I
would like for him to do TikTok.
I hope
it would be fun.
Miracle would be to shut down all social media. Like that would be what he does.
That means
kill it all.
TikTok.
I know. I would take it. I would take. What? I would take him shutting down TikTok if he shut all of it down for everybody. I think life has gotten worse because of social media.
I know it has.
I think we've gotten dumber. I think we've gotten more angry. Probably.
Yes. I think that the ability of I found an old friend from high school and reconnected with them through like Facebook was really cool at first, but the damage that social media by and large has done to so many people far outweighs the benefit anymore. Like I thought there was a benefit at one time. I don't believe that anymore. I think that the damage to social media is far greater than what it provides.
Well, someday, whenever you do move on from like the Wally show, like you're probably not going to get your own social media.
Absolutely not.
So at some point or another, like you do this because it's part of the job is that you interact with it. But someday you'll probably completely leave it behind, I would think.
Absolutely. The only way
except for TikTok.
The only way I would have, if it's still available, I'll watch it. But yeah, the only way I would have any social media.
It's pulling down society, but I'm still going to watch it.
Oh, for sure. While it's here, but I'm not interacting on it. Like I don't comment on anybody's things or anything like that. And I scroll past the garbage or whatever. But yeah, I would not have any social media.
And yet you're still the angriest person in the room.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Can you imagine if I was on social media all the time? I do notice it. Like, okay, so I'm right wing conservative, and if I ever find myself going down the Matt Walsh or Ben Shapiro rabbit hole, I can find myself getting so angry because they find all the outrageous stories that should make you angry, but it's like you think that that's every story, and it's not. But those are the extreme examples, and then you start to think everything is that extreme. But man, it can make you so quickly angry. Just like on the left, like showing the crazy to them right-wing stuff makes them so angry. And we spend so much of our time mad at each other, where if we didn't have social media, we might actually get along. Goodness gracious. Fauci the other day. Remember Fauci from the masks and everything and all of his stuff? He was like, yeah, we kind of messed up masks. What? And he's like, and the efficacy of it wasn't what we thought it was going to be. What? And so all the people that had been saying this is garbage, and then they had people hating them. Now the guy who was setting it up was like, yeah, it's kind of a misstep. And you're like, oh my gosh, you had families destroying themselves over this agenda that you had. And now it's irreparable for some people. And then now you come out like, yeah, sorry, whatever.
Right. Like
crazy.
You can't go back and
that's social media. That's what fostered so much of that stuff. But hey, are we going to do some weekend plans? Weekend plans. This weekend I am going to be angry. I'm going to plan my whole weekend around different things that make me mad.
Oh, geez. You have a kidney stone.
I do have a kidney stone.
Your way through.
I am working my way through it, and this Coke did not help. I should have drank my water once again.
Sorry.
El Diablo.
Lo siento.
So no, I'm going to play pickleball Saturday morning.
With who?
The guys I play pickleball with. I
do you
play
have a set crowd?
I play in like a pickup league, basically. So we play every Thursday and Saturday.
Have
and
you two played together?
People. No, Betty, you should play.
Because you've been playing more often.
I know. Betty played last week.
I prefer to play with my friends.
Ouch. That hurt on two levels.
No, I think it's better for our relationship that we don't play together.
What if we?
You guys should bring your paddles here to work.
I don't have a paddle.
Will you borrow a paddle? He's probably got 5.
I don't know.
Bring them to work and play in the parking lot.
That pie hole.
No, it's a great idea.
Net,
we should play. I'll be the net. I just want to see if you're any good.
I'm not.
I want to see if you're worth playing with me.
And then I can get some lessons.
I'm not.
I signed my wife up for pickleball lessons.
Did she want that?
Yeah, I asked her. I made sure like she wanted it because the lady who does pickleball at the rec center had texted me because I told her my wife wanted to and they were like full. And she goes, "Hey, I got some openings. Your wife want to do it?" So I asked her, and then she got because I'm not going to do that. Like I don't need lessons. I'm pretty great. No, but like so I'm not going to be in the class with her. But we play and like I can play on a court next to her sometimes. And so she's going to do it, and then her friend Rhonda is going to do it as well. So she's got like a buddy to go, and I want her to learn. And because when you're learning like that, it's structured, and you actually will get better faster than if I'm just sitting there kind of hitting the ball to you. So I'm excited. I hope she plays, and I hope she likes it. I don't know that she will because she's just not like super sporty. She's said she would like to play golf. But I don't know.
I don't know about that either.
That's such a hard sport.
That's like a frustrating sport.
Pickleball
more than anything.
Yeah, pickleball you can actually with a few lessons or a few times you can get to where it's fun and you can hit the ball around with people and no one gets too mad at you unless you're playing like in a competitive league. But golf takes years to really get good at. So church on Sunday. I don't really have anything else. I'm trying to see if Phil wants to go dirt bike riding, but I don't know.
You got to ask it.
I know, but
can't just wait.
Well, it
see if he shows up
so much. Like it's so bad to ride.
Think there's
in the
any
rain.
more rain.
I know, but it's soaked. Like the ground doesn't dry out, and I tip over a lot when it's wet. It makes it so not fun. So anyway, that's mine. Lady Rock.
Probably going to play games with friends. May go play some pickleball. Who knows?
With church, friends.
Yeah, church on Sunday, and then we're back here again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gavin?
We're going to go hang out with some friends this afternoon, and then I'm acting as some like chauffeur for some disco night for the youth group tonight.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah, it'll be fun, I think.
Yeah. That's good. I love that you do that.
And we're moving some people, someone tomorrow morning and afternoon.
A friend, or did you get roped into a church thing?
Church thing.
Oh, yes!
But apparently, like a lot of people are asked to show up, and so
no one will but you.
I actually have like a lot of faith that people won't show up, just because in the past we've been the like a few moves now in a row. Like Haley and I have been the only people there, not the entire time, but like we've been the only people there the entire time.
Yeah.
Where it's like we're there from start to finish.
Yeah.
And like other people don't show up and you kind of sit there and you're like, man, life gets busy. I totally get that. That or like Haley and I just don't make enough plans. But I feel like we do.
Yeah.
So I'm not calling people out. That seems wrong to do.
I commend you for showing up and doing what you said you were going to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is easy to be like, oh, I have a headache and I can't come.
Oh, yeah. Which I expect a couple headaches tomorrow. But I was told that she should be ready for moving and it should be all packed.
No one ever is. But that's just me being
I'm finding
cynical.
that to be very true, actually.
Oh, for sure.
There's so few people that are.
I will say this.
Yes.
I was literally just going to compliment you. The last time we helped you move, Rock, you had all the boxes done, boxed up by the door even. Like you had it down. And so like moving you that time was not a problem at all.
Yeah.
Like you did really good.
Well, it's because I really wanted it quick and simple and easy, and I wanted y'all out of my lives.
Phew. Helping
her. Never helping her again. I know that's it.
I'm kidding like that.
Yeah, kidding. You're so April from Parks and Rec.
I will say I'm looking forward to like doing this move. Like I'm definitely like ready to serve. I am only being a Debbie Downer about hoping that other people also show
I hope
up.
they do too. Like, what is the deal though? You seem to move people a lot. Like people in your church, like they move and they don't hire movers. And
are they older?
This one is like an older, single woman. And so she doesn't have a ton of money. She doesn't have a ton of just family and people that are there. And so Haley and her serve in pre-K together.
Okay.
And so
that's cool. So at least there's a connection.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they
that's
know
not the rando.
They know we'll say yes though.
Right. We did a thing one time. We did a day of service with the radio station, and so we had flown all over the country, different jocks, different places, and we did one thing that I loved. We were in Colorado, and it was basically doing like home repairs for single moms. I loved that, man. Like I like home repairs anyway, or making something nice, or like doing something up. Like I could do that all the time. Like, and I could do more of that. Like, hey, let's do a new floor for you, you know, or let's do something that makes your place nice or gets it up to code or whatever. Like, I loved that. That was something that because it fits into my DNA of what I enjoy doing. And then when you can do it for somebody, you know, and it's long term, that's something I would like to do. As a ministry that was doing it, I'm like, oh, maybe we should start that here.
Yeah,
it's a good idea.
Yeah,
great idea.
Yeah, if you could get you would probably need a woman to get the women to sign up, you know, but I'm sure, there's got to be lots of single ladies out there that, you know, single moms that need somebody to just come and do a repair. What
we do is we combine two things, like, because women hate online dating, so we make it single women that are getting their houses redone, and we only contract with single guys with very little baggage.
And then you make a TV show out of it.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Like, literally just call it Fixer Upper.
Yeah, exactly.
You're fixing them up with each other.
Yeah, it works on so many levels.
I like that idea.
All right.
On that note,
guess we won't be at your house.
Guess not.
Contact some other people for your next move.
All right, that's going to do it for your Aftercast. And as always, thanks for being a potty.